Thank you. My name's Michael Cummings. I'm an assistant professor at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. So this paper arose out of a couple of different causes. One was an existing research stream, or an emerging research stream in entrepreneurship and international business on the financial and other impacts that migrants have in their home countries. And my co-authors and I started having conversations about sort of what the boundary conditions of that phenomenon might be. What other factors might influence that relationship between investment from migrants and the financial entrepreneurial impacts in the home countries. And so there was some recent research on the impact of informal economies. And so we sort of took these two streams and put them together and explored this phenomenon. The other thing, too, that's interesting about this research is it's not sort of your typical business school research. I did my PhD at the University of Minnesota Carlson School, and for those of you who know the geography of the Carlson School of Management, it's bounded on one side by the School of Public Policy, and on another side by the Cedar Riverside neighborhood of Minneapolis, which has the largest Somali diaspora community in the world, to my knowledge. And so we're really sort of I think those of us who pay attention to those sorts of things, we're primed to think about research questions that other people just might not get to. So the data for this phenomenon, it's a panel data set of about 45, 46 countries through the early 2000s. And what we did is we gathered political, economic, other institutional data. Our dependent measures were various aspects of new venture behavior in these home countries, either the availability of capital or actual new business starts as recorded by the World Bank. And so what we do is, as consistent with prior research, we show this main effect of diaspora remittances for venture investment and new venture foundings. And then we look at various interaction effects to explore the impact of informality in this context. What we found was that a positive moderating effect. So as the level of economic informality in a country increases, so too does the impact of remittances for sort of productive entrepreneurial purposes, as opposed to, for example, consumption or other types of uses that these investments might be targeted toward. So, as I think about it, there are a couple of implications for research and practice. One of them is that this research highlights the importance or the utility of, sort of informal channels in informal institutional contexts. So I think it goes beyond this particular phenomenon, just to really highlight how, in weak institutional contexts, so people do things a little bit differently. As far as policy implications, whether we're with the International Monetary Fund or whether we're on the ground in the country thinking about how and whether to encourage this type of remittance behavior, we need to think about the institutional context. Think about the areas in which increasing remittances might have these beneficial impacts. And it's in these contexts that sort of liberalizing remittance behaviors might be most impactful for bringing up sort of the bottom of the pyramid out of poverty.